Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're using your sources to really understand the hidden emotional landscape that shaped Elvis Presley.
Right, moving beyond just the icon.
Exactly, exploring the inner man, the personal battles he fought privately.
And how those unseen forces kind of molded the king we all think we know.
So let's get into it. It's quite a contrast, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
That global image of pure confidence versus the internal struggles the sources seem to illuminate. It's fascinating.
Absolutely. Let's maybe start with something really foundational: the loss of his twin brother Jesse at birth.
Hmm.
It's hard to fully grasp, I think, the lifelong impact of just that absence.
Yeah, definitely. The whole idea of a twinless twin,
Hmm.
it suggests this really deep-seated sense of loss, doesn't it?
Like something's missing from the start.
Exactly. And maybe a potential yearning for connection that began before Elvis even really knew it consciously.
Uh-huh.
The sources kind of hint this early experience might have fueled his, lifelong search for belonging. And maybe that discomfort with being alone.
The need for connection, it seems so clear in his relationship with his mother, Gladys.
Oh, incredibly strong. Their bond was, legendary in its own right.
And then her sudden death in 1958 while he was away in the army. It's devastating.
Devastating. That quote you mentioned, everything I have is gone. Wow.
It says it all, really.
It really does. And if you connect that back to the earlier loss of Jesse, it suggests the sort of recurring theme of profound grief
Right.
that probably shaped his emotional responses, throughout his life, maybe created a certain fragility under everything.
And then you layer on top of that the sheer pressure of being Elvis.
Oh yeah, imagine the weight of that expectation, constantly having to live up to this huge persona.
Must have been exhausting.
Well, the sources suggest there was maybe some disillusionment there, especially with Hollywood, feeling artistically stuck.
He wasn't in control.
Kind of. It raises that question, how much of the Elvis we saw was really him and how much was a role he felt sort of trapped playing.
Yeah, that makes you wonder about his later spiritual explorations,
Hmm.
his interest in metaphysics, sparked by Larry Geller.
Right, the self-realization fellowship visits.
And even those moments where sources say he seriously considered walking away from show business entirely.
What's really telling there is this underlying search for meaning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Beyond the fame, beyond the money.
Definitely.
That quote, there's got to be a reason why I'm Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
It just points to this deep need to understand his purpose. Fame wasn't enough.
No. And maybe that search for fulfillment also sheds some light on his relationships.
Could be. We see those patterns, like often dating younger women.
And maybe a struggle with real deep intimacy. The impact when Priscilla left him must have been huge.
Well, thinking about the themes we've touched on, the early loss, the fame pressure, it paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Someone who maybe desperately yearned for love and connection.
But also struggled with vulnerability, maybe. Fear of more loss.
Exactly. It adds this whole other kind of poignant layer to those iconic love songs like Can't Help Falling in Love.
Yeah, it really does. And then, almost separate but connected, you have Colonel Tom Parker.
Ah, the Colonel. A
Mm.
huge influence.
And a controlling one, it seems. Restricting his career, maybe even his personal life to some extent.
The sources talk about that attempt Elvis made to fire him.
Right. And then he backed down. Fear, maybe?
It certainly speaks to the complex constraints he was under, and even the isolation, at Graceland.
Yeah, building his own private amusement park, that sort of thing.
Or that really unusual meeting with President Nixon.
Strange moments.
But maybe they become a bit more understandable when you see them as ways of navigating this incredibly unique and often isolating existence. Fame at that level, it warps reality.
So looking through your sources, what we see is this man shaped by, well, early loss, burdened by his own legend.
Searching for meaning.
Navigating these really complex relationships, all while the world just saw the king of rock and roll.
And I think understanding these inner battles, his pain, it offers a much richer appreciation for his artistry, for his whole journey.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about the music, was it? It was about the human being behind it, grappling with everything.
Behind the king's crown was, well, a broken heart looking for peace. Maybe that's why his music still connects so deeply with you today. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.